Coca-Cola is one of the most valuable brands in the world. Ranked 17th among the top 20 global recognized brands and with the estimated market value of $286 billion by 2022, Coca-Cola is one of the world's largest leaders in the beverage industry. Its products are sold in over 200 countries, with over 500 beverage brands across a wide range of categories, including waters, energy and sports drinks, juice, ready-to-drink teas, coffees, and predominantly sparkling drinks, are consumed globally. With no language or cultural barrier, its logo, the word Coca-Cola in white on a red background, has been widely recognized in all four corners of the world. Despite its popularity and a long-standing iconic product in American culture, very few know about the historical origins of this company and its unique story of success. Warren Buffett is a well-known investor and has been one of the richest men in the world for decades. But very few know that he had been a door-to-door salesman for Coca-Cola in his hometown in Omaha when he was 16. The first moments of Coca-Cola's history could date back to 1886 in a small pharmacy named Jacob Pharmacy in Columbus, Georgia, where the first bottle of soft drink was sold. The inventor of Coca-Cola was John Stith Pemberton, who was a pharmacist, chemist, and physician. His early version of Coca-Cola gave a revolutionary development of soft drinks. It's a drink that everyone could afford, a taste that wetted the lips of every American. Coca-Cola was originally invented for the relief of headaches and was sold primarily in drugstores as a medicinal beverage. During Prohibition in the 1920s, Coca-Cola spread throughout America. Not only did it provide a substitute for wine, but also give a non-alcoholic drink to the American public, which marked a new era of the beverage industry. John Stith Pemberton, background, and the Confederate War. John Stith Pemberton was born on July 8, 1831 in Knoxville, Georgia. He managed to enter the Reform Medical College of Georgia in Macon and earned his medical degree at the age of 19. Of his talent for chemistry, he opened a drugstore in Columbus after practicing some medicine and surgery. About the time of his graduation, he met his wife, Anne Eliza Clifford Lewis. They were married in 1853. A year later, their only son, Charles Ney Pemberton, was born. In 1861, the American Civil War broke out. Pemberton enlisted and served in the 3rd Cavalry Battalion of the Georgia State Guard, which was at that time part of the Confederate Army. He was later promoted to the rank of lieutenant colonel. On April 16, 1865, Pemberton was wounded by a saber in his chest during the Battle of Columbus, which caused him unbearable pain. He later became addicted to morphine for ease of his pain. Morphine is an analgesic used to alleviate pain. Pemberton deeply suffered from his acute pain. As a physician and pharmacist, he sought a cure for his addiction to morphine. He began to produce his own painkillers that would serve as morphine-free alternatives, founding Coca-Cola. After several attempts by taking ingredients such as wine and some plants, he created his first formula known as Dr. Tuggle's compound syrup of globe flower. It was indeed a very primitive version of soft drinks nowadays. He thereafter experimented with coca and coca wines, eventually achieving an efficacious formula that was later called as Pemberton's French wine coca. The second formula was able to help many to break their addiction to opiate-like substances and, to some extent, to relieve stress or mental illnesses, including depression. It could help addicts regain their consciousness, he thought. In 1886, a law was enacted against teetotalism, where complete abstinence from consumption of alcoholic beverages was promoted. Pemberton, therefore, had to revise his formula to be alcohol-free with the help of Willis E. Venable, an Atlanta drugstore owner-proprietor, for testing by trial and error. He scrambled to develop a non-alcoholic version, which was the early version of Coca-Cola. He was then able to keep this popular product in the market after the temperance legislation. One of Pemberton's workers and partners, Frank Mason Robinson, came up with the name Coca-Cola for his product because of its main ingredients: coca leaves and cola nuts, together with a logo written in Spencerian script, a Latin script-based writing style that was standard in business correspondence in the early 20th century in the US. The logo stood out by two capitalized CEs. The first version of Coca-Cola was sold for a nickel and a glass at Jacob's Pharmacy in Atlanta in 1886. The drink, being touted as the ideal brain tonic that would cure headaches, relieve exhaustion, and calm nerves, and marketed as delicious, refreshing, pure joy, exhilarating, and invigorating, became popular quickly soon after it hit the market. Coca-Cola was able to scramble for a considerable share in the market. Pemberton, however, turned out to have both health and financial problems. Sick and desperate as he was, he began to sell rights to his formula to his business partners in Atlanta. Despite being suffered from his continuing morphine addiction, he had a hunch that his formula will someday succeed and be a national drink. So he still retained some of his shares of ownership to his son. His son, however, was facing financial difficulties. In 1888, Pemberton and his sons sold the remaining portion of patent to Asa Griggs Candler, a businessman, a politician, and a pharmacist. In 1892, Candler founded the Coca-Cola Company. He trademarked the brand and distributed the first dividends to the company's shareholders. In 1903, Candler decided to remove the Coca-1 component from the coca leaves before using them to produce the drink. In 1916, Candler was elected mayor of Atlanta and ended his day-to-day management of the company. In 1919, he gave most of the stock in the company to his children, who later sold their shares to a consortium of investors. Coca-Cola was not sold in bottles when it first launched. An American businessman, Joseph Biedenharn, developed a new procedure in the drink distribution. He was the first bottler of the drinks and established the new marketing technique that the network of franchise bottlers were responsible for distributing the drink. Biedenharn and his brothers acquired franchises to bottle Coca-Cola in Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. The Coca-Cola Company grew substantially and globally through several acquisitions over the decades. The company now sells beverage products in more than 200 countries. It serves 1.3 billion beverages of all types, those bearing Coca-Cola or Coke trademarks, out of 50 billion consumed worldwide and daily. If a customer wants a drink that isn't on the company's extensive drink list, they may have a hard time finding one they like. Coca-Cola and the Olympic Games history. The Coca-Cola Company and the modern Olympic Games have grown together and share historical bonds. Early in the 20th century, the company already had more than 400 plants that bottled and distributed it, although it was not until 1915 that the company used the bottle for which it is recognized worldwide, the contour bottle, thus giving way to the new era. A surprising fact is that Coca-Cola was actually the very first commercial sponsor of the Olympics, starting a strong relationship in the 1928 Amsterdam Olympic Games. For more than 90 years, the Coca-Cola Company's partnership with the International Olympic Committee for more than 90 years has provided fans and athletes with unforgettable moments and experience of Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola has the longest partner of the Olympic sponsorship, extends to 2032 at least, for a total of a historic 104 years. Coca-Cola, a symbol of friendship by the time the United States entered World War II in December 1941. Coca-Cola was bottled in 44 countries. The economic and social effects of the war's outbreak had a significant impact on many nations and businesses around the world. The Coca-Cola Company's goal from the beginning was to boost and maintain morale among American troops. To support any American in uniform could get a Coke for $5 regardless of the listed price or cost of production. In just 6 months, more than 5 billion bottles of Coke were consumed by military service personnel during the war, in addition to countless servings through dispensers and mobile, self-contained units in battle areas. Far from destroying the business, World War II simply opened up a brand new set of challenges and opportunities for the entire Coca-Cola system. The Coca-Cola Company has successfully transitioned from a symbol of the American way of life to an iconic friendship that brings people and nations together. Message: have a Coke, we're with you. The presence of Coca-Cola van more than just boost troop morale. Coca-Cola emerged as a global symbol of friendship and pause as the world emerged from a period of conflict. Polar bears and the power of a good commercial. The first polar bear advertisement was Northern Lights in 1993. The advertisement depicts several polar bears sitting down to observe the aurora borealis. Another bear enters and joins the others. The lights then appear in the sky, and the bears drink from Coca-Cola bottle. The commercial concludes with a close-up of a bear holding a bottle. The commercial was a hit with everyone. The commercial and the polar bears were so well appreciated by customers that they were featured during the 1994 Winter Olympics in Lillehammer, Norway. The polar bears left a lasting impression on the hearts of many people until now. Coca-Cola had once again become part of the history of mankind, staying true to what Coca-Cola is and how it has changed. By the 1970s, the company had established international presence, making it one of the century's most important corporations. But other soft drink brands entered the game, which led to a fierce competition between Coke and other brands. The Coca-Cola brand experienced turbulence as it competed with others and implemented changes that called some partners and customers' loyalty into question. The Coke company has always been able to change and adapt to meet the demands of an ever-changing market, all while remaining true to one of their core principles: diversity. Coca-Cola's global and local marketing strategy and its success. The Coca-Cola brand realizes that it needs to find a way to speak to consumers on a more personal, localized level. And while it may not have had the internet strategy of personalization or social media to apply before, it certainly can now. The company expanded the brand to customize each country's offerings to its local culture and language, with the most popular names of each region printed on cans and bottles, allowing companies to reach consumers worldwide through a single platform. In the mid-80s, it launched other variants, such as Coca-Cola Light, a soft drink with fewer calories and no sugar, showing that it had listened to the people who were asking for something less sweet, but who could still enjoy the taste of the beverage. In the following years, it managed to bring to the market other products, such as juices, water, or food. Finally, in 2005, it brought another healthier soft drink that became a success, the zero version of the beverage. Coca-Cola's emphasis on brand over product has contributed significantly to its success. Coke does not sell soft drinks in bottles. Rather, it sells happiness in bottles. Instead of trying to sell the product itself, Coke promotes the brand image and the culture that surrounds its product. What lessons can we take from Coca-Cola's playbook for creating a globally recognized brand? Coca-Cola's continued success after 125 years in the market can be attributed in part to the company's global marketing strategies, which center on forging personal connections, maintaining a forward-thinking approach while staying true to basic principles and developing memorable brand experiences. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share the video. Leave a comment below to tell us what you think of this video. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.